All right, here's circles, example number 4, all right? And again, it's just a matter of taking the information given and using logic to figure things out. So we talked about to build the equation of a circle, we need the center and the radius. They didn't give us the center, they didn't give us the radius. How do we build the equation? All right, so they gave us 2 points, the ordered pair 8, -7, which I went ahead and plotted here, and the ordered pair -4, 9, which I plotted as well. Again, if you want to work along with me, if you would print these out that I sent to you, you could go to the graph paper that was provided and plot these 2 points and hit pause if you need to catch up. So these 2 points are on the circle, all right? A diameter, if you're not familiar, basically goes all the way across the circle. So if we were to connect these 2 points, that would be the diameter, and half the circle would be up here and half the circle would be down here. So let's use detective work here. Let's talk about the center. Wouldn't the center be the point that's halfway between these two? Have we ever talked about how to find a point that's halfway between two others? Yes, we have. I want to remind you that if we had 2 points called x1, y1, and x2, y2, the point halfway between them, which would represent the center of this particular circle, would be the midpoint. The midpoint formula. Doodly-doo, doodly-doo, doodly-doo. Assignment 17, all right? So, the midpoint formula, I want to remind you, is the ordered pair where we average the x's and we average the y's. And I hope that makes sense to you. I hope you remember that. That would be on the first page of assignment 17, as I recall. So if we apply the midpoint formula to this, all right, x1 plus x2, 8 plus -4 over 2, and then y1 plus y2 over 2. I do arithmetic to that, and I'm out of space, so I'm going to transfer this up. This is going to be our center point, isn't it? So that would be 8 minus 4, which is 4, and then 4 divided by 2, which is 2. And then -7 plus 9 is 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. And there you go. That will be, as we've been calling them, the H and the K. The ordered pair 2, 1. So if we go to that ordered pair 2, 1 and plot it, you will note that that hopefully looks like it would be halfway between these two. And if it's not even close, you did something wrong. And I'll remind you again that your graph paper is going to be a lot better than mine that I'm sketching on the board here. So if you do it right, that midpoint should appear to be the center here. Yay! H and K. All right, now, how do we find the R? I would recommend doing the same thing we did on the previous example, example number 3. Watch these in order. It helps, I promise. If you recall on the previous example, didn't we say, let's plug numbers into this generic equation for a circle and solve for R? Okay, so we have the H and the K to plug in. Where do we get an ordered pair to plug in for X and Y? We got 2 of them. And I will tell you, much like when we graphed lines, when we built equations of lines, remember we said, you pick either one. All right, so let's just say for the sake of discussion that I decide to pick that ordered pair there. We're going to plug that in for X and Y. We're going to plug this in for H and K in that equation of a circle over there and solve for R. Very similar approach that we did before. So X would be 8 minus H, which is the X coordinate of our center, in this case 2, parentheses squared, plus Y. That'd be the Y coordinate of that point that's on the circle that I chose, -7, minus K, which is 1, squared, and this will equal R squared. We don't know R. That's what we're looking for, okay? So here we are. We do the order of operations. 8 minus 2 is 6. -7 minus 1 is -8. We do what's in the parentheses first. Then we'll do the exponents. 36 plus 64. A negative times a negative. It's important the parentheses are there. All right, this will be 100 equals R squared. Square root. And R would be technically plus or minus 10. but since it's a radius, it'll just be the positive 10. So 10, 10's our radius. We can finish the graph now, because I would go back to that center point again, 10 boxes to the left, 10 to the right. I'm pretending to count them. Okay, and then 10 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and then 10 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we've got those 4 surrounding points, north, south, east, and west, as I've been calling them. And then it should hit those 4 plus the 2 they gave us at the beginning of the question. So we actually ended up with 6 points this time. The north, south, east, west, and then the 2 that were supposed to be on the diameter. Perfectly round circle. I won't be an art critic, I promise you. One more thing. What's the equation of this thing? Well, that's just back to plugging things back in for the h and the k and so forth. And so there again, here we go. X minus h, which is 2, parentheses squared, plus y minus k, parentheses squared, equals radius 10 squared, which is 100. 10 squared. Make sure to square the radius, whatever your radius is squared. We're plugging these numbers back up into this like we've done on the previous 3 or 4. All right? I think that's it. All right, so deep breath. We'll come back and we'll introduce a concept called completing the square. Sounds exciting, huh? Yeah.